Here we have a SAT math question. There is a dot plot over here for the data set A. Okay, now let's go the information here. The dot plot represents the 15 values in data set A. Data set B is created by adding 56 to each of the values in data set A. Which of the following correctly compares the median and the ranges of data set A and data set B? Okay, here we have 15 values for the data set A. So there are 5 values with number 22, and there are 4 values with number 23, and 3 values number 24, 2 values number 25, and only 1 value number 26. So now according to the question, we have to add 15 to each of these 15 values in data set A. So when I add 56 to each of the values in data set A, a new data set created, that's called a data set B. So once a new data set, that is data set B, is created, so we have to compare the median and range of these two data sets, data set A and data set B. Okay, now instead of considering the given data, now let me take a small data which contains 5 values over here. Okay, let me write the data set over here. So let's say the data set A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have considered 5 values in data set A, and also here these 5 values are written in ascending order, that is from least to greatest. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the number 5 to each value in this data set A, so that I'm getting a new data set. It's called B. So now I'm adding 5 to each value in the data set A. So when I add 5 to the first value 1 over here, I'm getting 6. When I add 5 to this one, I'll be getting 7. Then I'm getting 8. Then I'm getting 9. Then I'm getting 10. So now I've added 5 to each value in data set A, and I got a new data set that's called data set B. Okay, now so we have to compare the median and range for these two data sets. So actually, what is median? So median is one of the measures of center. Center means the median will give you the central value of the data. That is, the whole data can be represented by just one value. That's called center value, or it can also be called center. So we can get the center of a data, so by median or mean or mode. So mean, median, mode are called measures of center. So median is one of the measures of center. So here in this data, median means it's a middle value. What is the middle value? That is 3. So for data set A, the median is, let me write over here, 3. And what is the median of data set B? In data set B also, we have to make sure that the values are written in ascending order from least to greatest. Yes, the values are written in ascending order. So the middle value of this data set B is 8. So median of data set B is equal to 8. So here what I did is I just added the number 5 to each value in data set A, and I got data set B. So when I add number 5 to each value in data set A, so the median of data set A also increases by 5. So in case I subtract the same number from all the values of data set A, what will happen? So the median also will decrease with the same difference. So it will not only happen for the data I have over here. So for any data, so it will happen. That is so whenever I add the same number to each value in a data set, so the median also, the measure of center median also will increase by the same number. So it will happen for the data what we have over here. So according to the information, we are adding 56 to each of the 15 values in the data set A. Then we get a new data set that's called data set B. So then the median for data set B also will increase by 56. So definitely the median of data set B will be more than the median of data set A. So how much the median of the data set B will be more than data set A? It will be, the median of data set B will be more than this data set A by 56, because we are adding 56 to each value in data set A. So now one point is very clear, that is when I compare the medians of data set A and data set B, so the median of data set B is more than the median of data set A. Okay, the first point is clear. Okay, now let's consider the range. So there is a range of data set A and data set B. Okay, now I'm going to discuss the range. So with the data set, we have over here data set A and data set B. Okay, for data set A, if I want to find the range, what should I do? So I have to subtract the smallest value from the largest value. So when I subtract the smallest value from largest, let me write A over here. So now I'm finding range for the data set A. So I subtract the smallest value 1 from the largest value 5. So whenever I want to find range for any data set, So we have to subtract the smallest value from the largest value. When I do so, I'm getting the range 4 for data set A over here. And so now let me find the range for the data set B. For that, I have to subtract the smallest value 6 from the largest value 10. When I do so, I'm getting 4. So even when I add 5, the number 5 to each value in the data set A over here, so the range of data set A, the range of data set B are same. So adding 5 to each value in data set A does not affect the range. Actually, range is one of the measures of spread. Let me write out here. Because range, interquartile range, standard deviation. So these are all called measures of spread. So range is one of the measures of spread. So from this example, we can understand a fact, that is, when I add the same number to each value in a data set and we got a new data set, so the range, I mean the spread will never change. So whatever spread we have for the first data set, the same spread we have for the second data set, I mean the new data set also. So that is range means, spread means a range. So range never changes. So it will happen not only for the data, the example what I've explained over here. It will be applicable for any data, and also it's applicable for the data we have in our problem. So since we are adding 56 to each value in the data set A and we got a new data set B, and whatever range we get for data set A, the same range will be getting for data set B, that we get it by adding 56 to each value in data set A. So this is a fact. Always we have to remember, like a median is one of the measures of center and range is one of the measures of spread. So when I add the same number to each value in a data set and I get a new data set, so the center, I mean the median also will increase with the same value. In case if I subtract the same number from each value of a data set and I got a new data set, so median also will decrease in the, with the same difference. So now let's come to range. So like when I add the same number to each value in a data set and we get a new data set, so the spread range will never change. Whatever range we have for the original data, the same range will have for the new data. So it will happen when I add the same number to each value in the original data, or when I subtract the same value from each value of the original data. So now the thing is very clear. So the median of data set B is greater than median of data set A, and the range of data set A, range of data set B will be equal. So now keep this stuff in mind, and let's go the options one by one. So option A says the median of data set B is equal to the median of data set A. We don't have to go over further, because even in the first statement itself we can conclude that option A is wrong, because just now we concluded that median of data set B, since we are adding 56 to each value of data set A, the median of data set B will the median of the data set B will increase by this value 56. Definitely the medians of data set A and data set B cannot be equal. We can reject option A. Now let's consider option B. So the median of data set B is equal to the median of data set A. Again, it's wrong, because the medians of the two data sets cannot be equal. Now let's go to option C. The median of data set B is greater than the median of data set A. Yeah, the first statement is correct. And also now let's compare the range. The range of the data set B is equal to the range of data set A. So that's also correct. So both the statements are correct. The statement about the comparison of median, the statement about the comparison of range, both of them are correct in answer choice C. So answer choice C must be correct. Anyway, so let's go over option D also. The median of data set B is greater than the median of data set A. The first statement is correct. That is the statement about the median. Okay, now let's consider the statement about the range. So the range of the data set B is greater than the range of the data set A. That's incorrect, because the ranges of both the data sets must be equal. So we can reject option D. So the correct answer choice for this question is option C.